Hello. It's Kelvin here and Crease.
Hello, everyone.
Kelvin and Crease here. The show, if you haven't listened to one of these before, is very simple. Crease here compiles a list of topics, news stories, questions, things he thinks will be interesting. And as soon as I grow tired of them, I ring my bell and we move on to the next one. Simple as that. Simple as that. Here's what it sounds like, if you didn't know what a bell sounds like. So yes, that's what happens, and then we move on to the next subject. So, Crease, what is the first topic on your list?
The first thing I'd like to talk about is it has transpired that the Pentagon has a genuine battle plan, a combat scenario drawn up for a zombie apocalypse.
Bullshit.
Nope. It has been confirmed.
Sources
include the website foreignpolicy.com.
Include a man on the internet.
But it's from the BBC. No, it's from the BBC website, so I'm inclined to believe that they've done some research, even if I haven't.
Right. I'm not inclined to believe that, but okay, fine.
No, and I'll tell you why, because they battle simulate a lot of these things. Like, they'll have a battle simulation for if Russia invades. They'll have a battle simulation for if Texas decides to leave the Union.
It's called Dead Rising.
Seriously?
It's called Left 4 Dead.
There are
That's
their
battle sim for a zombie apocalypse, yeah.
But there are battle plans for these sorts of things. And I believe, although it's a non-existent threat in terms of it couldn't really happen.
Because it couldn't happen at all. Now, let's not say it couldn't really happen. It couldn't happen.
No! I disagree. They're talking about civil unrest when a group of mindless, flesh-eating people attack the United States, which is
impossible.
A legitimate threat.
Yes.
Under the right circumstances.
What's your question? This absolutely ludicrous situation you're presenting.
It's absolute rubbish.
I don't think that is rubbish.
There could be a biological agent that is not undead.
I don't want to start this on an argument. I don't want to start our entire show on an argument. But the fact is, there is absolutely no chance whatsoever that any country on this planet will ever, from now until the end of time, until the stars burn out, there will never be a time when a country on this planet is invaded by zombies.
No, not zombies. I'm not...
Flesh-eating people.
Flesh-eating... I mean, you could release a virus, a pathogen, that perhaps turns on our amygdala, or whatever it is, and makes us these sort of fearful, primal creatures... And they would need to know, the army would need to know how to fight us.
Whatever, okay, fine. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, so my question is, what do you believe is the most ludicrous thing that...
that you've asked me tonight? I've got an answer for that.
What do you think is the most ludicrous thing that our country has prepared for in terms of something going wrong? So
what is the most ludicrous thing that they have prepared for?
They're prepared for.
That they have
a battle plan for. What's the most ludicrous thing our government have a battle plan for?
Aliens, I think I don't know. The thing is, right, because you're not saying what is the likeliest thing that they have prepared against. Obviously, that would be invasion from another country.
Yeah,
They'll
Russia,
have plans
China,
for that.
something
They'll
like
have a
that.
plan for that,
of course,
obviously.
Yeah.
But do you actually think that our government have planned for what to do in the case of an alien invasion? Do you think that's likely? Do you think it's have a dossier?
Of course it is. No, of course it is. I don't even think it's a dusty dossier. I think it's quite a legitimate threat.
You think it's a USB port? You think it's a USB?
I think there's a flash key somewhere with the battle plans for an alien invasion. You'd have to.
What do you mean? No, you don't have to.
No, of course
obviously it's not going to happen.
No, because why do you say that?
Because it's just so silly. It's just never going to happen. Why is it silly? I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs of whether aliens exist, but I just think it is so.
But what are the odds of a benevolent alien arriving? If aliens arrive, it's going to be like Independence Day. They're going to want our resources. They're going to want to exterminate us.
What are you talking about? What is that based on? For all you know, if an alien turned up, all they would want is to eat our trees, or all they would want is.
Well, that would still be something we'd have to stop them doing. That's not a very good example. We'd still have to have a battle plan.
But my point is, if an alien turned up, for all we know, all they would do is.
What if they lived in music? They lived in our music.
Well, that's okay. So there you are.
Yeah.
They come down and they live in our music. Fine, we just leave them. They leave them to it. They're like a bacteria for our music.
Well, they started consuming it. Act of war.
They consume the music. So no matter how hard we blow on a flute, nothing comes out.
Nothing comes
out.
Nope.
All we hear is
Yep. All speakers everywhere just produce that noise.
Whenever you try and make music. You blow into
orchestras would just have choruses of them. Night at the Opera, ruined.
Yeah, maybe.
We need to have a. We need a
battle plan.
That's rubbish. There'd be a battle plan for aliens.
You really think so?
Yeah.
Right. I feel we are focusing more on the aliens than maybe we should.
No, okay, fair enough.
So what other things do you think they'd like to do? Do you reckon they have a situation for? I mean, they'll have things for biological warfare, an invasion, nuclear attack. They'll have all of that. I think that's pretty much a given. But I don't know. I mean, they'll probably have something for. Do you think they'll have a thing for if all animals go crazy?
Yes.
There's a lunar shift and it causes all the animals to go wild, to turn against
man. Do you know what
man.
I'd be most scared of?
What?
Insects. Because there are a lot of them, and I don't think you can really fight an insect.
No.
Oh, God.
You can stab a frog, but you couldn't stab an ant.
No.
What about a monster? Some sort of... like King Kong or Godzilla. Let's say a monster. Let's say something burst out of the sea. A big monster came out of the sea. Well, no, because that's based in the sea. Well, all right, let's say there's something in the sea.
Like a giant crab.
A huge
something
crab.
That can
or a
walk
big,
on land.
Just like a monster, a dragon or whatever. Comes out onto the land. It starts, blowing plumes of flames from one head and lightning bolts from another.
Well, it depends on how invulnerable it is. Like in all the movies... They can fire missiles at them. They don't have any effect.
But we're not asking that. That's not your question. Your question isn't how do you fight it. It's do you think the government...
There's a battle plan.
Do you think the government
But
have
I think
a
it would
plan?
depend on how invulnerable it is. I think if they've probably got one for a thing that can be hurt with missiles. If not, there's probably no plan because what would be the point?
So you don't think they have a plan of evacuation, nuclear weapons to be used?
Yeah, but nuclear is probably what caused it in the first place. What if that makes it stronger?
What if it absorbs the power?
What if it catches the missile and just flicks open the top
and drinks
like a Pepsi, and then
drinks the nuclear.
I don't want you to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the Komodo dragons in Chester Zoo are like,
oh yeah. All looking over their glasses, going, "Wow." Yeah, don't make them like that anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what worries me. Is that I don't know. Do you reckon things could come out of the ground?
Worms,
giant. I mean, like tremors.
But they won't have prepared for this. I tell you what, they won't have done. They won't have sat down and said, "Right, John, I want you to name every monster that has ever been imagined since the dawn of time until the latest blockbuster, and we will go through them." Coming up with what we would launch at it. I mean, they're not going to have done that. They might have gone, what do we do if a fuck-off big dragon comes out of the sea and attacks us? They might have got a plan for that.
They might have that. I genuinely think they might have that.
I don't, if I'm honest. But let's just...
But what happens if it did happen? We'd be caught with our pants down.
That's true. And then we'd turn to our government, we'd say, why weren't you prepared?
Why weren't you prepared?
First mad-cow disease, and now this.
They'd blame it on the previous government
They'd blame it on the previous government, yes.
Yeah.
They said they were in power for 8 years and they never did anything to prepare against a gigantic sea dragon.
That's true.
And then that government would then the shadow cabinet would say, well, you've been in government now for 3 years and you have never implemented anything against sea dragons. You've had the opportunity. You've been there for 3 years.
That's true, yeah.
And you have never once said that you were going to do anything about it. So don't blame it on us. This is as much on your head as ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd have to sack generals.
They would.
You know what I mean?
They'd all be...
say, God damn it, man!
No one would be taking responsibility. No one. Not one person would be willing to say, it's my fault, I fucked up, I didn't plan for a giant sea dragon.
I wasn't expecting.
I wasn't planning for it.
Yeah. I assumed they were fictional.
One of his aides would have to step down. Because he didn't
do you think he'd take a dramatic last stand? Do you think he'd stand there, bare-chested in front of the sea monster? And say, he'd just turn back to his family and
I've nothing now. I've nothing left to lose.
Turn back to his family and say, I am so sorry, and just run at it with a saber.
And the monster
on a horse. Yeah. No.
It's possible. Okay. What's the next topic?
The next topic is national news. Play the sting. It transpires that Richard and Judy, this is on the BBC website.
I know what you're going to say.
You do, don't you?
I do.
Have got a two-way death pact. That's not true. It's not a two-way death pact. It is a...
yes.
They've got a mercy killing pact.
Yes.
So that should one of them fall ill, terminally ill, they will murder...
Liver damage.
They will... The other one, the healthy one, will murder...
Richard Madeley will murder.
Will murder Judy Finnegan. Because
with a hairy chinnigan. Right, grow up. Yes.
He will murder
Yes.
her.
It's not murder. Well, I mean, he will.
Well, he
murder.
will
I suppose
murder her.
legally it is murder, but I mean,
Yes.
She
will
consider it
euthanize
murder.
her. He will euthanize her.
Yeah, he will. Yeah.
And take the consequences. So obviously he could spend the rest of his life in prison.
The thing that got me about that, though, because I saw that story, the thing that got me was his method of euthanasia was not a pillow over the face or tablets or something like that.
No.
He wants to use a pistol on her. He wants to blow her brains across a wall. I mean,
drink whiskey or something.
yeah,
I want a glass of whiskey.
All the possible ways you could do it.
Who's the whiskey for? For the person he's shooting or for him?
You wouldn't want a drunk man shooting,
No,
would you?
unless he got you in the shoulder or something. You know what I mean?
Can't guarantee that'll
Yeah.
work.
He's only got 6 shots.
Yeah, I don't know.
And if he misses with that...
Right, anyway.
That got me thinking, if you and I were to enter into
Right.
such a pact,
Right.
how would you do it?
And no doubt that time will come.
Oh, it will. It will. Sooner
Right.
rather than later, I would imagine.
Yes.
How would you do it?
How would I kill you?
How would you kill me? How would you want me to kill you?
Okay, that's a good
Because you see,
question.
I think what would be quite a good thing is gladiatorial combat.
Right, okay.
I mean, I would have like a trident and a net.
But that doesn't. That's the worst possible way of euthanizing someone. Of euthanizing someone.
No, it's an exciting way of
No,
going
yeah,
out.
but what if the person who needs to be euthanized kills you?
Then they're obviously
What
not
if
as ill as they thought.
What if I...
It would make you have a newfound respect for the
Yeah,
short time you had there.
Maybe, yeah.
You could say, I have claims...
But then the one person who was willing to kill you, albeit in armed combat, would be
dead.
And useless to you. You'd have to find another person and hope that they were better than you in a fight.
You'd have to carry on the gladiatorial combat.
You'd
until
have
you
to
came
fight
across
as
a
many
better-
people as you could find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if I said, Kelvin, I want to go out in a blaze of glory. I want you to acquire the necessary skills to build a bomb,
Right.
strap it to me,
Right.
and then, like in a Wile E. Coyote cartoon,
Yes.
I want you to stand at a safe distance behind a rock and push a plunger in,
Right, okay, yeah.
spraying me everywhere, all
everywhere.
over. I mean, literally,
Yes.
there would be like, you'd be behind the rock and it would be the only part of you that wasn't covered in guts.
Yes.
And I say, I want you to blow me up.
Well, I mean, I'd be willing to
Would you
do that
do
in
that?
the
Would you
circumstances. No, well, I wouldn't, because I would obviously be convicted of searching for explosives. So there's no way I would do that. I can tell
What
you.
What if I said I've got this book, and I just gave you the book and it told you exactly?
I don't know what are the good ways to kill you. I don't know. What is a good way to kill you?
Well, a pleasant way of killing me.
I didn't say pleasant. I said good.
Oh right, okay.
Go on. What's a
Well,
pleasant
I'm trying
way
to
of
think.
killing?
No, I'm
Go
trying
on.
to think
What's a way of doing it?
I don't know. There isn't really.
The thing is, I mean, the fact is, there are so many ways you could kill yourself. I have to say, I don't know why you're dragging me into it. Why can't you kill yourself?
No,
in this
I've
circumstance?
got
Why
the
can't you
disease
just
I have,
do a pipe through your
the
through
disease
your
I have
exhaust through to
is
your
like,
window?
it makes me wobbly.
It makes you wobbly.
I've got a rare disease, genetic
Right.
blood disease,
Yes.
wobbly bone syndrome,
Right.
and it basically
Yeah.
means that all my bones have no structure anymore. They just wobble around.
So whenever you try and slash your wrist, you
I mean,
miss.
literally,
Yes.
I've literally come into my room. There's just knives embedded in the wall where
Right.
I've tried to cut myself, and it's because of my wobbly bones. Just flung them into a wall.
Your whole body is lacerated, but your wrist is absolutely is smooth as a daisy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely perfect.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I suppose in that circumstance, I'd have to step in, wouldn't
Yeah.
I? I would have no choice in that circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
What about... it's an oldie, but it's a goodie. What
Go
about tying a coat? What about tying a kite around your neck and running up a windy hill? Tie a kite around your neck and just leave you until a big
But
gust.
you'd have to be that person that stood at the end of the kite
Yeah.
and flung it up in the air when a big gust came.
Yeah, I suppose so. But
What
I
if
mean...
I said, I want you to deliberately sabotage my parachute? And I don't want to go skydiving.
Well, I don't know if they'd let a man with wobbly bone syndrome on the plane in the first place.
If I-
They might say you're a
Well,
liability
I
in the
write
first
off,
place.
I write off to the
What if-
Make-A-Wish Foundation.
What if you knocked a lever you weren't meant to knock? I mean, wobbly bone syndrome is one of those kind of things.
I make a plea to the Make-A-Wish Foundation that I want to go skydiving,
Right.
but I insist you pack my parachute. What about
Why would you? That's a stupid idea. Why don't you just not pull the cord if that's what you were going to do? If you were going to jump out of a fucking plane,
Because I wanted
just
to look
jump
like
out
an
of the
accident.
plane.
I wanted
Don't
to
even
look like
put
an
the
accident.
fucking parachute
I
in the
wanted to.
first
I'm trying to
place.
stop you from going to prison here.
Oh, sorry.
I
yeah.
want you to not
Well,
be
then don't
blamed.
even involve me. Just jump out of a plane.
I've got wobbly bone syndrome. I can't.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's turn the tables.
Right.
Very quickly. You've got the serious illness. You've
Yes.
got wobbly bone syndrome.
I have wobbly bone syndrome.
And you want me to stab you to death.
Right,
It's in
okay.
your heart, once into your heart.
A single blow
Yeah.
to the heart.
And as I approach you and say, "You ready, Kelv?"
Yes.
And you go, "Yeah." And I'll go, "It's been an honour, mate." And you go, "Thank you, Crease.
Thank
Likewise,
you.
it's been an honour."
Right.
And then, just as I'm sticking the blade in, I go, "I've wanted to do this for fucking ages." You know? And then,
Right. Okay. And the
I mean,
last
you-
thing I see is you grinning
Smiling.
down at me
Yeah.
as your boot comes down on my face.
yeah,
Wow.
as I gob in your face.
Right. Right. Probably do one more topic. Shall
Yes,
we do
I
one
think
more
one
topic?
more topic, and then we will call it a day.
Right.
Kelvin.
Yes, we will. Okay. Fine.
I've got another Crease's hypothetical here. I'd like to.
Da, 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 da.
Okay, I want to talk about superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
We're both comic book fans. We both like
Yes,
comic books.
Yes.
I want to talk about what superpower you would like, and then I want you to think of a superpower you would like, but with a really inconvenient twist.
Fine.
So, what superpower would you like, first of all? If you could have any superpower, what would you have?
What power would I have? This question can only be answered one way.
Okay.
Flight.
No, bullshit.
You don't
Of
think
course
that's
it
the
can't.
only obvious answer?
course it
Because to
can't,
me,
no.
I don't think there's a single power as good as flight.
I-
Not
I-
float, I mean like properly fly like Superman, like super fast.
That would be cool, but there are other characters that have much cooler powers.
Like what?
Being psychic,
Yeah, but I don't think that's...
Telekinesis.
I mean, do we say that's better though? Are we saying that's better?
telekinesis.
Is that better than flying? Telekinesis would be my second. Telekinesis, the ability to sort of float objects around. As long as I can float
Right.
like a building, that's
Okay.
cool. But of course, if we're talking about like I can float like a ladybird,
Okay, so we'll go with flight first of all.
right?
You can fly, but at some point in your life, without warning, it's going to run out.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
Without warning.
Would I want it?
It could be 30 seconds after you
Yeah, it
start
could
using
be.
it.
I know. That's a really good question. I don't know. I don't know if I would want that. No, I don't think I'd want it.
When you just do it
'Cause
over
it's almost.
water.
It's basically.
you just do it
it's
over
just-
water.
I mean, that's the possibility. You only do it for you do it over very low areas just for the thrill of it. It's still ever so dangerous though, because if you were going at speed, even if you were really close to the ground,
Yep.
you would basically
you
hit
just
the,
wear a
you would hit
parachute?
the, you would hit the ground at the speed of a plane or something.
Yeah.
Even if you were low.
Oh, your arms would rip off.
You'd be absolutely,
Yeah.
you'd be killed outright. So no, I mean actually, it's a death sentence.
Here's a question. Would
You're
you
basically saying you might as well say, "Do you want cancer?" You're basically
Fair
saying,
shout.
if cancer was an amazing thing to have for as long as you had it, which I'm not really sure.
No, I'm not convinced
sure
it is.
that's really the best comparison.
No, maybe it
actually,
isn't.
but you know what I'm saying.
Okay, you can fly, but you can only fly if you do a ridiculous breaststroke motion.
Right. So if
While
I
you're
like
flying.
I'm swimming,
So
as I'm
literally,
doing
you're
it,
swimming that, but you can go as fast as you want. But as anyone
so
sees
long
you,
as I'm doing it,
you're doing the breaststroke
so long as
motion.
I'm-
You have to be
doing
doing the full breaststroke motion.
yeah, I do that. That's okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You look ridiculous, Kelvin.
I look ridiculous, but who cares? I'm fucking flying. What does
You
that
can
matter?
only fly naked.
Yeah. Do I die of hypothermia?
No,
Right.
but if you put so much as a wristwatch on, you drop out the sky.
Right. Okay then. So, and if there was like an emergency,
You can
I would
fly
have to
naked
strip
anyway.
my clothes off in
All
the
of
full
them,
view
everything.
of everyone. People running away screaming, "Ah! It's Superman! Run!"
Would you do it if you could fly? over?
Yeah, I guess so.
Would you just go out at night time? You just jump out your
We're
window.
gonna go
at night
out right time like a sex pest, like a magical sex pest, flying around the world
Okay.
nude. Okay, well I mean yeah, I guess so. That's so. I mean ultimately, assuming I'm not gonna freeze to death, yeah, I mean yes, I would have that.
You'd fly naked.
Yeah, I'd fly naked.
Okay.
What about this? You can fly,
Yeah.
but you can only fly so long as you've got a dead mouse in your mouth.
Visible in my mouth.
No, it's not about it being seen. It's the fact that you've got a dead mouse. Who cares
that's
what other
fine.
people think?
Fucking yeah, of course.
You
I
don't
would.
care about having a dead mouse in your mouth.
I'm flying. I don't give a fuck about anything. Birds fly with dead mice in their
Okay.
mouth all the time.
You can fly, but you can only fly if you're dressed as Hitler.
course I would.
You're completely dressed as Hitler, and you even have to have a little Hitler moustache.
I'd insist I'd do it, and I'd make a cape with a huge H on it.
Right, okay.
And I would fly everywhere, and I would try and
You'd be Nazi,
I would try and rejuvenate Hitler's image.
Yes.
By doing good deeds.
What about you can go invisible, but you can only go invisible if you smash one of your toes with a hammer?
I mean, like, destroy it.
You have to literally
destroy my toe.
You have to break a bone in your.
I'll break a bone to be alright.
No.
No. If you're talking about like this is hammer.
Into shards of bone, shattered bone, and then you turn invisible.
I can only do.
That's the stupid thing ever.
But then you can only do it 10 times.
Yeah, you could.
And then that would be it.
You'd get 10 uses.
And then you'd be in a wheelchair.
For the rest of your life. And then you can only do it by smashing other parts of your body. Like your knees and groin with a hammer.
No.
For emergencies.
No.
You wouldn't want it and then just use it maybe just a couple of times.
How long does it last?
Okay, what about this? No, it lasts for it lasts until you smash one of your fingers with another hammer.
No, then. If I'm having to smash body parts to get in and out of the situation.
No, you don't think so? No, okay, fine. Okay, then. What other cool powers? What would you like? I never asked. What power would you like?
I think telekinesis would
Telekinesis is good, yeah, I like telekinesis, yeah. What about, you get telekinesis, but every time you use telekinesis, a nun dies.
Do I know the nun?
No. It's a non-known nun.
Yeah, probably.
You wouldn't mind. That's akin to murder.
I would use it. I would accept those powers and those terms.
Okay.
But I would only use it for the greater good. I wouldn't be like, I can't be asked to go into my
So you would accept the power, but you would only ever use it in truly dire circumstances in which you were saving more people than the single nun dying. Hello.
Hello.
Hello there, this is, you can hear him, yes?
Just about, yeah.
This is Kittens, everybody. This is Kittens. How are you, Kittens?
I'm okay, I'm just calling in, checking in to see how things are going.
Checking in to see how things are going, and how things are going is how? How are things going?
Well, the plan was to go to this beer festival, but then everyone came home, so I've been in the garden for a lot of the night. Maybe we could do some garden comedy.
I don't know if we have to necessarily do jokes about every single thing that's happened in your life. I like to... Well, I mean, the jokes can come organically rather than us having to...
Just like the garden.
Yes. You see?
Yeah,
there you are.
Crease is on it.
Crease is on it. Okay, anything else?
Okay, aliens.
What have you done with yourself? Aliens. Okay, aliens. That's an acceptable topic. Aliens. What do you believe in aliens?
No, I'm a rational human being. Of course I don't believe in aliens.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So, what do you believe in? Do you believe in anything?
You're asking me what do I believe in?
Well, I don't mean kind of in the great spiritual sense, but I mean in the sense of, do you believe in, I don't know, goblins, ghouls?
Yes, I do believe in goblins, but I don't believe in aliens.
Okay. You don't believe that there's any kind of, some sort of little cells, some sort of little bacterium on some planet, on some rock, some distant rock?
That can't happen, but goblins do exist, yes.
Right, okay, fine. No, I can't blame you for that. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that. I'm sorry that... what do you think...
Why are you sorry to hear about that?
Well, I'm sorry to hear that you've got such a vast universe out there and that you have no hope whatsoever that there could be life out there, although I tend to agree with you.
What's the problem?
No, not really. I have to say, I probably agree with you, if I'm honest.
I have hope for planet Earth with all the goblins we are yet to discover.
What do you think...
we discover new species every single day. And do you know how many new goblin species we discover every single day?
No, go on. Please tell me.
Big fat zero.
Big fat zero?
0% of species discovered on this planet Earth are goblins.
I'm not...
And yet, we all know that this planet is infested with goblins.
What do you think goblins would be like if we did discover one? What form would a goblin take?
I think they would look a lot like, have you ever seen the TV show Star Trek?
Star Trek? Yes, we have seen that, I'm sure, yes.
There's a character on that who has large, round, pointed ears.
Right, yes.
And his name is Dr. Spock.
Right, yes. Yes, I don't know if I would describe it as round ears. I would argue he had just pointy ears. He had ordinary but pointy
They're
ears.
rounded at the base.
Well, but that's the same with everybody. I have rounded ears, and I'm not an alien. That doesn't mean anything.
I'm not saying. I'm just trying to describe his ears.
Yes, but you wouldn't describe the thing that was mundane about them, i.e. the fact that they are round like a normal person's ears. You would focus on the point. That's the part that's unusual.
I was trying to build up to...
If people were to describe Captain Spock in 3 words, I honestly do not believe that rounded ears would be 2 of them.
Rounded base.
No, you never would mention that part.
Yeah, well, that's
You would
the
say
thing.
pointy-eared logic monster.
If people were describing hobbits, they'd say they had hairy feet. They wouldn't say they had feet with a heel and arches and toes that also happen to have hair.
Yes.
Heeled feet with hair.
So let's just go back a bit here. You're saying that you think goblins are like
Oh,
Spock.
yes, let's get back to the goblins.
Yes, you think goblins are like Spock.
Well, I think they kind of look like Spock. They're kind of... do you know Dr. Spock from the TV show Star Trek?
Yes, I do.
He's this big... he's like
He's not big! What's your descriptions of Mr. Spock are fucking atrocious. Yeah, again, of all the things you could use to describe Dr. Spock, you wouldn't say he was big, because he was the size of a normal man. He wasn't big.
But compared to a goblin, he's a gigantic pink goblin.
Oh dear. So, but then so am I. I mean, by
You're a
that same,
gigantic pink goblin.
no, but by the same standards, if we're just comparing everything against goblins, I am a giant goblin. So but I'm not the same as Dr. Spock because he was an alien with pointy ears. Thank you so much for calling in. It's been lovely.
Au revoir,
speaking to you.
kittens.
I do hope you'll call again. It's always fun.
Au revoir.
Au revoir, kittens. Au revoir. Mwah. Right, that's that.
was Kittens.
That's the end of Kittens. That's the end of him. I need to ring it again for our conversation that we were having earlier. What was the final thing that we said at the end of our conversation?
Superpowers.
So there we are. So so there's my answer. That's a superpower I will want. I'll cut that in later.
Excellent. Flawless.
Flawless. Right. Well, I think that's us finished. Thank you to all of you for listening. Thank you to Crease. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, everybody, please follow us. We are Radioface Comedy on Twitter, Radioface Comedy on YouTube, and Radioface Comedy on Facebook. So just the same across all of them. And that's it. That's us done. That's us done. So thanks again for listening, everybody. And until next time, bye-bye. Bye.